There are three lies that college admissions officers tell themselves and you throughout the college admissions process that I want you to have your antenna up for anytime you hear, because it's very important that you cut through the lies in order to empower yourself to make wise decisions about your ultimate college destination and programs and campuses that are strong for you for what your goals are. So we talked about lie number 3 in a previous video. Today we're going to talk about lie number 2. Below are links to the previous video, and once it's available, the third video, which will be the big lie. But today I want to talk about lie number 2. And this lie is when a college says, we look at you holistically. That's a big word, just like fit was in the first video, holistic. What they're trying to say is they want you to believe that everything you submit to them, they're going to look at, and it's going to all be a beautiful little package, and they're going to take everything into consideration very nicely and make a decision based off of all the information at their disposal. But what that lulls you into believing is that you can make excuses for things that are very important to them. And that's not the case, especially at state schools. I mean, where it's a numbers game, complete numbers game in terms of GPA often and SAT or ACT scores. So they can say at a large state school, we look at you holistically. But the fact of the matter is, if 60 to 70% of the application decision is based off of your scores and your grades, you may have fallen out of a tree as a 4-year-old. You may have lost your parents in a skiing accident as a 10-year-old. But those things, as tragic as they are never going to overcome the fact that your scores and your grades stink. So they like you to believe they do. They want you to believe that. But in terms of developing a class or creating a class, enrollment management professionals, admissions office deans, they are very cognizant of not being too emotional about this, even though they claim that they'll really read into your stories, et cetera, et cetera. They really are hemmed in to get the numbers, the averages that they need to be able to promote every census year to say that we are getting more selective. We have more applications than ever. And as a result, you can share as much information as possible about yourself, and you can hope that they'll look at you holistically, and that means in some way that they're going to look at you fairly, but it's not happening, okay? So, and that's not even only the case at state schools. That's also the case at elite private institutions that are relatively small. They'll say, we look at you holistically. And yes, while they may put smaller amounts of the percentage of their weight of their decision on grades and or scores, they're still going to be hemmed in terms of what they can and they cannot accept. So they can't truly look at you holistically. A waitlist is another example. Very few schools look at students holistically during the waitlist process because, of course, money matters a great deal. Full-pay students usually have a huge edge in the waitlist process. But even before the waitlist process, there's always going to be considerations beyond your control. There always are going to be, basic statistics that these college admissions officers and these deans and these enrollment management professionals need to meet. So whenever you hear a college admissions officer say, we're going to look at you holistically, that would be the point at which I would say, zone it out. Focus again on what you want out of the college, not what they claim to want out of you, because that way you're going to cut through the clutter and you're going to make better decisions for you. You're not applying to a college to make them happy. You're not applying to a college for a fit. You're applying to the college because it's going to be an investment for you. And just zone out all the touchy-feely, nice comments that these admissions officers are going to make. Again, many of these comments are made with strong intentions so as not to make you feel bad. But ultimately, they don't serve students well at all because they delude students who listen and believe them into thinking that they have chances at schools that they really don't have chances at, so that they can apply, so then the college can reject them, so that the college can get more applications that they could reject, so that then they would have a lower admissions rate and therefore look like they have a more selective college or university. And so it's a business for them. And so I want you to approach it like a business too. So don't get wrapped into these holistic discussions about how you're going to be looked at. Colleges are looking at you as something that you can fill for them, and not something that is like a marriage. So it's a very interesting process, but one that if you hear the word holistic, you know that you're at a school that is using all the right buzzwords, but is really wasting your time when they could be showing you a dorm room, or they could be talking about the career services department and the placement rates and on-campus recruitment and all those really important things that matter, as opposed to deluding you into think that you're going to get in by saying they're going to look at you holistically.